back at the goat shelter, Luis is reading from the diary. He is watching. He waits. He is everywhere. The wind chimes. It starts to shake. And the rain is pouring down in the middle of the night. She calls out for Michael as the thunder and rain hits. Hello? Is somebody there? A shadow appears from behind her as she walks back into the house, where she sits outside with Michael on the porch. She wasn't crazy, Luis says, and I'm not crazy. What if she did see something out there? I saw something out there, Michael says, and it wasn't a fucking dream. I wasn't imagining things because that don't happen. And he pointed out to where he saw her, and he says, Mom was standing right there. I saw her through the window last night, but it wasn't her. It was fucking scary. Luis, it can't be real. Then wolves start howling and the wind picks up. Scratching at their front door wakes up Michael, and he walks out of his room and he sees Luis standing looking at the front door. There is something out there, and the scratching continues, and the wolves are howling. They slowly walk over to the window, Michael does, and he pulls over the curtain, and then he sees the priest standing outside in the pouring rain in the middle of the night. He says, you should come outside. It's the priest, Michael says to Luis. What the hell? And he opens the door. Come outside. It's like 3 a.m. Come outside. You can't just show up here. And he's breathing heavily. And Luis says, wait. Why wait? Luis grabs a flashlight, and then she shines it and points at the priest, and his eyes are all rolled back and white. He says, you want some more rope? The phone rings, and they both look at the phone, and they turn back, and the priest is gone. Where did he fucking go? Fucking Michael goes outside, and he walks up and down, and he looks, and he's not out here. The phone is still ringing. Luis goes to answer it, and Michael says, don't fucking answer it. She picks it up and hangs it right back, and then she takes the line off of it. Michael walks back inside Charlie's house, where he's the one that's been trying to call them. He's like, Michael, pick up. And the wolves are howling outside of his house. He hears thud and creaking coming from outside of his room. He yells out, who's there? And he grabs his shotgun and he starts loading it. He walks out of his room and down the hallway, where he sees Luis standing in a dress that her mother made for her. She has a knife. He says, get out of here. You don't belong here. You go now. All right, demon, go. She starts stabbing herself in the face. She has cuts all over her body. Then she stabs herself in the chest, and then in the arm, and then in the wrist. And he falls to his knees. He says, what do you want? Just say it. With a low and high-pitched scream, as the demon is whispering in his ear, you did this to me. And Luis, the demon, slices her throat, and blood flows down her chest. And Charlie puts the shotgun in his mouth and blows his head off. Saturday. Luis and Michael are outside and are saying there's no tracks, there's no footprints. Did Charlie even meet the guy? Charlie hasn't answered his phone in 2 days. He wasn't just standing out there waiting for me. You saw his face, didn't you? You saw it. It can't be real. They decide to call a doctor to move their father to the hospital because they can't stay there anymore. They let the goats out into the pasture, and then Luis goes and calls the phone number that the priest gave her and asks why he visited the farm the prior night. The man answers the phone, claims to have never met, and says that he lives in Chicago and has never been to Texas. He said, "How did you know I had a daughter named Louise? She killed herself a long time ago. Why would you do that?" "Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't mean." "You sound just like her." She hangs up the phone. The doctor shows up to the house and he determines that their father is in grave condition and moving him would be unwise because he most likely will die en route.